गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् हृदाकाशे सदा भान्तं शान्तमानन्दरूपिणम् ज्ञानभानुमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं सत्यसायिनम् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिनी व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः क्वेदमभ्रन्निविशते क्वायगुं संवत्सरो मिथः क्वाह क्वाह क्वेयन्देव रात्रि क्वमासा रतवश्रिताः अर्धमासा मुहूर्ताः निमेषास्त्रुटिभिः सह क्वेमा आपो निविशन्ते यदीतो यान्ति सम्प्रति काला अप्सु निविशन्ते आपः सूर्ये समाहिताः अभ्राण्यपः प्रपद्यन्ते सूर्ये समाहिता अनवर्णे इमे भूमि इयं चासौ च रोदसी किग्गस्विदत्र तत्रान्तराभूतम् येने मे विधृते उभे विष्णुना विधृते भूमि इति वत्सस्य वेदना इरावती धेनुमतिः भूतम् सूयवसिनी मनुषे दशस्ये ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Offering our collective love at the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan Shri 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 Satya Sai Baba Varu. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. Let us all be together. Let us all be nourished together. Let us all work together with great vigor. May our studies shine and illumine our intellects. May we not hate or contradict each other. We're studying the 8th Anuvakam of Aruna Prashna, and this Anuvakam, as we have discussed in the last class, starts with a number of questions about time, about the aspect of how the time is manifested. Kviggus vidatrantara bhutam. Then it goes into the aspect of gravity, how the things such as earth, the earth's atmosphere, how they are all held together in this universe. What is that being, not what is that physical force, as modern science would call it. In Sanatana Dharma, nothing, even physical aspects, are not even considered, they're all considered as divine. Everything is divine. Kim svidatrantara bhutam, antara bhutam. What is the inner being? What is the inner being that holds the earth, the atmosphere, the entire cosmos in its place? And those are the questions that are being asked by the seeker. And then it's a beautiful way of teaching in Vedic hymns that nothing, it's a study, it's nothing like a blind belief, nothing like that. That's the most atrocious interpretation of what Veda mantras are. Veda mantras are scientific. They are 100% embedded in scientific pursuit and an inquiry. Uh, Therefore, kala apsu nivishante, apsu surye samahita, abhranyapah prapadyante, vidyut surye samahita. Kala apsu nivishante. The time is present in this thing called apsu. Time is created by the movement of the water particles. Time is created by the movement, that fundamental movement of the water particles is caused by the sun's rays. Therefore, the sun's rays are the ones that is creating this thing called time. And that it took a number of centuries for modern science to recognize that the loss of entropy of a photon particle when it moves from distance A to distance B, from a place A to place B, that is what is defined as time in modern physics. Loss of entropy of a photon particle when it travels from point A to point B in space, that is what is time. So therefore, what is Aruna Prashna describing? Exactly that. It is about sun's rays. And photon is a ray particle. It's a particle defined of a sun's ray. So therefore, having studied that aspect of what we are looking at as this time, Vidyut Surya Samahit, Abhranyapah Prapadyante. Abhrani. Abhrani means clouds. Clouds also are manifestation of the movement of the water particles. There cannot be anything more profound than that. Uh, then we went into the whole aspect of gravity, that gravitational force that holds the earth and its atmosphere in its place is what is defined in Aruna Prashna as Vishnu. Vishnuna vidhrute bhumi. That is where I believe, and iti vatsasya vedana. This is the awareness. This has been declared by Vatsa Mahamuni in his awareness and experimentation about this beautiful thing called gravitational force. And that gravitational, all pervading gravitational force of the Mother Earth and all pervading gravitational force of the Sun as a planet holds, holds these planets in their orbits. Now, that is what modern science has declared, but those concepts are symbolically already described in Aruna Prashna. Then, what is the purpose of this gravitational force? Why does this gravitational force exist to begin with? And that part of it is what we left, I think, last two lines in this mantra number 27. Iravati dhenumatihi bhutam suyavasini manushe dasashye. Okay. Okay, I'll chant those two lines and then we'll go into the meaning of that. इरावती धेनुमतिः भूतं सूयवसिनी मनुषे दशस्ये
इरावती धेनुमतिः भूतम् सूयवसिनी मनुषे दशस्ये इरावती धेनुमतिः भूतम् सूयवसिनी मनुषे दशस्ये.
So let's look at the words. Iravati dhenumati hi bhutam suyavasini manushe dasasye. Very simple, as it is just chanted are the words. Hi bhutam means this being became. See, bhutam means the being. So gravity is now being described as a being. Kiggasvitatrantara bhutam. Kim svit tat antara tataha antara bhutam. That will become kiggasvidatrantara bhutam. That bhutam or the being is in itself is manifested because of its ability in order for iravati, for producing food, dhenumati, for abundance of nourishment, which is represented as the cows, for example. Suyavasini, in order for medicinal plants to produce the medicaments. For who? Manushe, Dashasye, for the people and the heavens. That is so. What is the purpose of seasons, as it was described before? The purpose of, the seasons for existence is for sustenance of beings. What is the purpose of this gravitational force? It is also for nourishment, sustenance of the beings. And that nourishment comes in abundance of food, abundance of nutritional food, and abundance of medicinal plants. So completely for health and wellness, this gravitational force exists. So now that is the inference, right? And so that's a statement. It is known that this last line, two lines are statements. What is the purpose and the intent behind this? So how does that happen? As you can know, without gravity, the plants cannot root. There is no way the plants can root without gravity. If there is only gravitational force, then the plants can produce roots, and those roots will go down and down into the earth because of the gravitational force of the Mother Earth. So therefore, for production of food by the plants, gravity is a very essential aspect of it. And as we study this mantra further, Dhenu literally means cow, and it symbolically means that which nourishes or that which sustains. That is the inner meaning of the word Dhenu. And then without gravity, no life can sustain on the earth. So therefore, in modern experiments that are done in the space, it has been produced in credible journals that wound healing processes takes much longer time in space stations compared to on Earth. So gravity is a healer. That is the aspect about that the third line about the healing aspect, Suyavasini, means that which heals. So, in essence, there is a profound impact of gravity, in a sense, on what Dashasye. Dasha means the 10. There is a profound impact of the gravity on the 10 senses of a being, both from physical level and also from an emotional aspect. That is the essence of that. Then we go into the mantra 28 now. व्यष्टभ्नाद्रोदसी विष्णवेते
व्यष्टभ्ना द्रोदसी विष्णवेते
दादर्थ दादर्थ पृथिवीमभितो मयूखैः
दाधर्थ पृथिवीमभितो मयूखैः दा
व्यष्टभ्नाद्रोदसी विष्णवेते
व्यष् व्यष्टभ्नाद्रोदसी विष्णवेते व्यष्टभ्नाद्रोदसी विष्णवेते
दादर्थ पृथिवीमभितो मयूखैः
दाधर्थ दाधर्थ पृथिवीमभितो मयूखैः दाध
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
दाधर्थ पृथिवीमभितो मयूखैः
व्यष्टभ्नाद्रोदसी विष्णवेते दाधर्थ पृथिवीमभितो मयूखैः
व्यष्टभ्नाद्रोदसी विष्णवेते दाधर्थ पृथिवीमभितो मयूखैः
So,
व्यष्टभ्नाद्रोदसी विष्णवेते दाधर्थ पृथिवीमभितो मयूखैः
so the words there are Vyashtabhnat has two words. Vi Ashtabhnat Rodasi. So the Takara and Rakara in Sandhi will become Drodasi. Vyashtabhnat Drodasi. Vi Ashtabhnat Rodasi. Vishnuhu Ete Vishnavete. Dadhartha Prithivim Abhitaha Mayukhaihi. Vyashtabhnat means holding together tightly. What is holding this? This ete Vishnuhu Vyashtabhnat. this all-pervading thing called Vishnu, Vishnu not like the guy, blue guy sleeping on a snake coil with a rich woman pressing his feet. That's not the Vishnu here. Vishnu really means the all-pervading. So the all-pervading, this, ete, this, Vishnu, the all-pervading, Vyashtabhnat, is tightly holding together. What is he tightly holding together? Is that that thing, that bhutam, that being, all-pervading being called Vishnu, is holding together Rodasi, the earth and its atmosphere, Pruthivi, the earth along with all the heavens. Abhitaha, in entirety. Abhitaha means in its entirety. Dathartha is bearing mayukai with the race. So now you see this is incredible. So this all pervading thing, what is responsible for holding all of this is referred to as this rays of the sun, has this power to hold. The sun, who is all pervading, holds together the earth and the atmospheres tightly with his rays. Now that is explained how that happens in the next set of lines. Kintadvishnor balamahuhu.
किन्तद् विष्णोर्बलमाहुः
Kadiptih kim parayanam.
का दीप्तिः किं परायणम्
So again, two questions, kim and ka. Kim tat Vishnoh balam ahuhu ka diptihi kim parayanam ahuhu. Oh, I'm explaining the meaning. Okay, let's go to the two lines. I'll come back to the meaning. किन्तद्विष्णोर्बलमाहुः
किन्तद्विष्णोर्बलमा किन्तद्विष्णोर्बलमाहुः
Shruti
sorry
a little bit
flat
flat.
किन्तद्विष्णोर्बलमाहुः किन्तद्विष्णोर्बलमाहुः
कादीप्तिः किं परायणम्
का दीप्तिः किं परायणम् का दीप्तिः किं परायणम्
So this mantra is very popularly chanted along with Narayana Suktam in some cultures as offering as mantra pushpam. After chanting the Ratagum Satyam Param Brahma, they chant these mantras. Kintad Vishnor Balamahu, Kadiptih Kim Parayanam, Eko Yadhara Yaddevaha, Rejasi Rodasi Bubhe, Vatad Vishnor Balamahu, Aksharadiptiruchyate, Tripadadhara Yaddevaha, Yad Vishnor Ekamuttamam. Even though this mantra is nothing to do with that Narayana or the this thing, they in they incorporated, especially Vaishnavites, wherever the Narayana comes, they confiscate and put them along with their scriptures. But here, this mantra is nothing to do with Lord Vishnu at all. This mantra is really to do with the aspect of the power of the sun and how this power of the sun is manifested as this gravitational force. That is what this mantra is about. Kim tat Vishnoh balam ahuhu ka diptihi kim parayanam. Ahuhu means a statement or a question is raised. Okay, I think we should also look at the next two lines so that the answer is also incorporated. So basically, The question is asked, what is the nature of the strength? Kin tad Vishnoh balam ahuhu. Tat Vishnoh, for that all-pervading one. Kim balam, what is the strength? Ahuhu means what is the, that is the statement, the question that is raised. Ka deeptihi kim parayanam. Ka deeptihi, where is that radiance? Kim parayanam, what is the base or foundation or the source of this power of this Vishnu here in reference Surya Bhagavan, not the Vishnu as the blue guy, da 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 da. There's nothing to do with the blue guy. Okay. So then the answer is given ekaha. Okay, eko. Now please repeat. Eko yadhara devaha
एको यद्धारयद्देवः
rejati rodasi ubhe.
रेजति रोदसी उभे
Vatad Vishnor balamahuhu
वाताद् विष्णोर्बलमाहुः
akshara deeptiruchyate.
अक्षराद् दीप्तिरुच्यते
Akshara deepti, di is a emphasized di. There's a double squiggle there. Double. So akshara deeptiruchyate.
अक्षराद् दीप्तिरुच्यते
Very good. Eko yadharayaddevaha
एको यद्धारयद्देवः एको यद्धारयद्देवः
rejati rodasi ubhe.
रेजति नो रेजति रोदसी उभे
C is dirgham, so double duration. Rejati rodasi ubhe.
रेजति रोदसी उभे
Vatadvishnor bala mahuhu.
वाताद्विष्णोर्बलमाहुः वाताद्विष्णोर्बलमाहुः
Akshara adipti ruchyate.
अक्षरा आदीप्तिरुच्यते अक्षरा आदीप्तिरुच्यते
Eko yadharayaddevaha. Sorry, 1 second. Can you hear me, Kana?
Yeah, can.
Okay. Eko yadharayaddevaha rejati rodasi ubhe vatadvishnor balamahuhu akshara adipti ruchyate.
एको यद्धारयद्देवः रेजतिरोदसी उभे वाताद्विष्णोर्बलमाहुः अक्षरा आदीप्तिरुच्यते
So, yat, okay, ekaha, yat dharayat devaha rejati, rodasi, ubhe. Yat means that, ekaha devaha, the one illuminous one. Rejati, which is lustrous, ubhe, and also rodasi. Ubhe means the ubhe here, ubhe rodasi means the two, as in earth and the atmosphere. Then what did he do? Dharayat, bearing them, is what that mantra is saying, that line is saying. So this one infinite, illuminous one, with the luster, and with the luster holds together the earth and the atmosphere, Rodasi. So in essence, what is the nature of the strength of this divine being who is bearing both the earth and the heaven all by himself and shines, Rejasi, Rejati? From where is its effulgence coming from? What is its founding? These are the questions asked by the seeker. The infinite, luminous, lustrous one. Let me be one with the infinite sun forever and ever and ever. Kuake leno leno maote hayano hayano hayano. On Guru Purnima, that shot was released by this brother in South Africa. Very appropriate. Just that's what it is being said here. That infinite lustrous one with the luster, the infinite sun, is holding together the earth. Ah, how is the sun holding together the earth? Because of his gravitational force. And without that gravitational force, the earth won't be rotating around the sun. The planets won't be rotating around the sun. So that infinite power of that. So now you see how beautiful this is. It's really talking about the omnipresent, the omniscient, and the omnipotent one as the infinite sun that is shining forth and holding together all this. And to him, the aid for him comes from the force Ahuhu. Okay, next one. Vatat Vishnoh Balam Ahuhu Akshara Deeptihi Uchyate. Aksharat Deepti Uchyate. That's why the double D will come, because the ta will turn into the as an emphasis. Aksharat Deeptihi Uchyate means becomes Aksharat Deepti Ruchyate. Ahuhu, it is also said that Vishnu, for this all-pervading infinite one, Balam, the strength is Vatat, the wind. The wind is the wind force is his strength. Deeptihi, the illuminance, Uchyate, arises from Aksharat, the supreme being that never decays. What an incredible. So one step higher than that. So the strength of the sun comes from this wind, and his illuminance comes from Akshara. Akshara means referred to as Parabrahman is Akshara. And what does he do? Tripadat dharayat devaha yat Vishnoh ekam uttamam. So let's finish those lines also. Tripadat dharayat devaha
त्रिपदाद्धारयद्देवः
yad Vishnorekam
यद्विष्णोरेकमुत्तमम्
Tripa Tripadadharayat devaha
त्रिपदाधारयद्देवः त्रिपदाधारयद्देवः
यद्विष्णोरेकमुत्तमम्
यद्विष्णोरेकमुत्तमम् यद्विष्णोरेकमुत्तमम्
त्रिपदाधारयद्देवः यद्विष्णोरेकमुत्तमम्
त्रिपदाधारयद्देवः यद्विष्णोरेकमुत्तमम्.
So here what is saying said, Tripadat, Tripadat, Dharayat, Devaha, Yat Vishnoh, Ekam, Uttamam. Tripadat, three parts of his. Dharayat holds the universe together. Yat Vishnoh, that Vishnu is Ekam, unique, Uttamam, and supreme. Where did you hear the word Tripada?
Purusha Suktam.
Oh, excellent. What's the mantra? You have to start from Sahasra Sirsha Purusha. Then only you will get it, no?
Uday Purushaha de, I think it's Uday Purushaha Tripad Dodwa, something like that.
Something like
Tripad
good.
Uday Purushaha
Aha.
Tripad Urdhva Udait Purushaha Padosyeha Bhavatmanaha Tato Vishwam Vyakramat Sashana Nashane Abhi. Same principle is now repeated in Aruna Prishna also. And in the context of this mantra, it is being said, this is beautiful mantra that is giving the essence of Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. 3/4 of his is unmanifest. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. Tripad Ashwa Amrutan Divi. Tripadasya Amrutan Divi. The principle here is being explained here is that unmanifest potency of the God, of this Akshara Parabrahman is holding this together. It's very beautiful conclusion to this aspect about the source, how this manifests, all of this stuff. In Kathopanishad also, there is a mantram, the 15th mantra of Kathopanishad. न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकम् नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भाषा सर्वमिदं विभाति. So this mantra is even going a notch deeper into even this sun, even all the earth and that sun, that is being held by even a force that is even supreme than that. That's what Bhagavan Sri Satsai Baba has said. He has said very beautifully in a poem, how are the planets staying there in this space in their respective places without colliding with each other? Who is holding all these infinite stars in the sky? Who is making sure that the waves of the ocean are not coming onto the earth and destroying like a tsunami does? What is that power? What is that power that is holding it all together? What is that power? That's a beautiful poem. I gave you the summary of a beautiful poem written by Bhagavan or illustrated by Bhagavan. ఏ ప్రేమ శక్తిచే ఈ ధారుణి చక్రము ఇరుసు లేకుండగా తిరుగుచుండు. That infinite power of love, because of that love, this dharuni means the mother earth is rotating without an axle. See, for a rotating wheel you need a central axle. Without an axle, because of the power of love, this dharuni chakram, this wheel of mother earth is rotating. ఏ ప్రేమ శక్తిచే ఏ ప్రేమ శక్తిచే నల్ల నక్షత్రాలు నేల రాలక మింట నిలిచియుండు. That prema shakti, the power of love, is making sure that the stars are not falling off and they stay in the space. ఏ ప్రేమ శక్తిచే ఈ పుడమి పడక కడలి రాయుడు కాళ్ళు ముడుచుకొనియే. And this ocean is withdrawing his legs so that his waves won't come and fall on the earth. ఏ ప్రేమ శక్తిచే ఈ వేడు లోకాలు గాలిదేవుడు సురిటీలు విసరే. Whirls of wind that are going through all the 7 worlds, they are not destroying because of that power of love. That power of love, ఆ మహాప్రేమ శక్తియే ఆత్మశక్తి, as the power of the divine infinite being, adbhutam, anantam, advitiyam. It is adbhuta, ananta, it is wonderful. The power of love is the power of the Atman that is all pervading the universe and cosmos. It is the one and only which is wonderful, infinite, that fills this cosmos. This mega creation is all because of love. ఆ మహాప్రేమ శక్తియే ఆత్మశక్తి, అద్భుతం, అనంతం, అద్వితీయం అగు శక్తి. నిండియున్నది బ్రహ్మాండ భాండమెల్లా. ఆ మహాసృష్టి అంతయు ప్రేమమయమే. Bhagavan's poem summarizes this entire thing that Aruna Prashna is talking about. You don't need to read any Upanishads or anything like that. He has summarized what is this gravitational force, what is this power of gravity that is all pervading. That is the love of the Paramatma himself. And that love is the gravitational force. And that is the essence of this beautiful mantra. ఏ ప్రేమ శక్తి చే ఈ ధారుణి చక్రమే. I sing this poem before singing this song. प्रेम ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है, हर धड़कन में साई समा है, ईश्वर प्रेम है. That is the preamble poem. God is love, love is God. Lord Sai is the indweller of the heart and the sustainer of each heartbeat, which repeats that God is love, God is love, God is love. Lub, dub, lub, dub. God is love, God is love, God is love. प्रेम ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है, हर धड़कन में साई समा है, ईश्वर प्रेम है. Oh God. The next mantra is a very beautiful mantra. And the next 2 lines actually brings this to conclusion. Agnayo vayavaschaiva
Agnayo Vayavaschaiva
etadasya parayanam.
Etadasya Parayanam.
Agnayo vayavaschaiva
Agnayo Vayavaschaiva Ag Om Agnayo Vayavaschaiva
etadasya parayanam.
Etadasya Parayanam Etadasya Parayanam
Agnayo vayavaschaiva etadasya parayanam.
Agnayo Vayavaschaiva Etadasya Parayanam
Agnayaha vayavaha cha eva etat asya parayanam. So the basic asya parayanam in this path of his or in this manifestation, there are two that aid this entire process associated with this gravity. One is the Agnayaha, the fires, and the second Cha Eva, and these, along with Vayavaha, the winds, Etat, all the elements in total, Asya, for this all-pervading Surya, Parayanam, are the basis or helpers in this process. Because there is one question that was not answered. Kim Parayanam. There was a Kim Parayanam. There was a question asked before about Kim Parayanam. And that question is answered here in these two lines. The above mantra is all about the beautiful, all-pervading gravitational force of Bhagavan Surya. And this gravitational force is the space-time curvature as defined by Albert Einstein. The space-time curvature. It is that space-time curvature that holds the Earth and its atmosphere, and the space-time curvature of the exact aspect of the sun as a planet also aids in all this process. So that now concludes the aspect about gravity. Now there is another aspect of time. The other aspect of time is how does time end? The end of time is called death. So the next set of questions in this mantra is all about death. Is that a coincidence or what? You're all thinking, it's definitely not coincidence. For the last few weeks, this body is only chanting these mantras. Pruchhamitva paramrityum avamam madhyamanchatum lokancha punya papanam etat pruchhami samprati. Pruchhami means I would like to know, I would like to ask, I would like to understand and become aware of this thing called death. Please explain to me what death is. How many types of death are there? How are those deaths associated with merit and demerit, or punya or papa? Really seminal questions. What is death? How does it occur? Okay, let's look at this mantra. Pruchhamitva paramrityum
Prachamitva Paramrityum
avamam madhyamanchatum
Avamam Madhyaman Chatum
lokancha punya papanam
लोकञ्च पुण्यपापानां पापानाम्
एतत् पृच्छामि सम्प्रति
एतत् पृच्छामि सम्प्रति
पृच्छामि त्वापरं मृत्युम्
पृच्छामि त्वापरं मृत्युम्
अवमं मध्यमं च तुम्
अवमं मध्यमं च तुम् अवमं मध्यमं च तुम्
लोकं च पुण्यपापानाम्
लोकं च लोकं च पुण्यपापानाम्
एतत् पृच्छामि सम्प्रति
एतत् पृच्छामि सम्प्रति एतत् पृच्छामि सम्प्रति
पृच्छामि त्वापरं मृत्युम् अवमं मध्यमं च तुम् लोकं च पुण्यपापानाम् एतत् पृच्छामि सम्प्रति
पृच्छामि त्वापरं मृत्युम् अवमं मध्यमं च तुम् लोकं च पुण्यपापानाम् एतत् पृच्छामि सम्प्रति
सम्प्रति okay pruchhami tva param mrityum yes just like what is written in the samhita avamam madhyamam chatum lokam cha punya papanam etat pruchhami samprati now tva pruchhami I would like to ask you about mrityum, about the deaths, different types of deaths. One param, the ultimate, avamam, another called avamamrityu, madhyamam, the one in the middle, chatum, the fourth one, pruchhami. I would also like to ask you cha about etat, all these punya, the merits, papa, the demerits, lokam, in the world. The only thing we have to know in life is about death. Don't know, there is no need to do anything about other stuff in life. In life, what you have to be very clear about is death. And every moment that we spend in our life is to prepare for death. That's the only purpose why the intellect is given. Are you prepared to die? Because you don't know when it will come and what type will come. So here the seeker is asking the question, I would really like to know about different types of deaths and how the actions in the world, lokancha, punya papanam, that are related to, that are associated with merits and demerits. Punya, papa. Punya is merit and papa is sin. How those actions associated with punya and papa, how they lead me to different types of deaths. So then there are 4 types of death. Pruchhamitva, the 4 are param, avamam, madhyamam, and the 4th one is called chatum. So param means ultimate, avamam is penultimate, madhyamam the one in the middle, and there is the 4th one called chatum. Chatum is the last one. So there are 4 types of deaths associated with our actions that result in merits and sins. punya and papa. You see in Gita Vahini, Bhagavan says very clearly, every moment that we spend should be only for, in Telugu, I remember this Telugu in Telugu more than in English. మనిషి ప్రతి క్షణము కూడా మరణ కాలాన్ని సంస్కరించేది కావాలి. Every second that you spend should be the one that leads to a proper type of death. It's more important that you focus on how you want to die than how you want to live. But the irony is, we are planning so much for that which we have no control about. You have no control about your life. Tomorrow, day after, Odalu Bandlagun, Bandlu Odalagun. Ships may turn into carts, carts may turn into ships. You have no idea. All of a sudden, tomorrow, the Dow Jones crashes by 1,500 points, 3,000 points. Suddenly, you are poor. And it raises again because of stupidity of other people. And you feel very happy. You are focused on that which is swinging all the time. You are focused on something that which is so uncertain. But the only thing you know for sure is going to happen is death. That's the only thing for sure you know. Because for everything that is born, it has to die. So focus on that which does not die after you die. And what are these 4 types of death is described in the next set of mantras, the 4 lines. Amumahuhu paramrityam.
Amumahuhu param mrityum.
Pavamanantu madhyamam.
Pavamanantu madhyamam.
Agnirevavamo mrityuhu.
Agnirevavamo mrityuhu.
Chandramaschaturuchyate.
Chandramaschaturuchyate.
Amumahuh param mrityum.
Amumahuh param mrityum. Amumahuh param mrityum.
Pavamanantu madhyamam.
Pavamanantu madhyamam. Pavamanantu madhyamam.
Agnirevavamo mrityuhu.
Agnirevavamo mrityuhu. Agnirevavamo mrityuhu.
Chandrama aschaturuchyate.
Chandramaschaturujyate. Chandramaschaturujyate.
Amumahuh param mrityum. Pavamanantu madhyamam. Agnirevavamo mrityuhu. Chandrama aschaturuchyate.
Amumahuh param mrityum. Pavamanantu madhyamam. Agnirevavamo mrityuhu. Chandrama aschaturuchyate.
It's a beautiful description. Amum ahuhu param mrityum pavamanam tu madhyamam agnihi eva avamaha mrityuhu chandramaha chatuhu uchyate. Ahuhu, again, ahuhu means always it is declared or it is stated that Amum, the sun above. Amum is that which is above. Param, ultimate cause of mrityu, physical death. How is the sun cause of the physical death? Huh? How is the sun cause of physical death? Because with every sunrise and sunfall, you're losing the time allotted to you. Therefore, it's the count of number of sunrises and sunsets that defines ultimately your death. Is there any simpler than that? Ultimately, the sun is responsible for your death. If you can stop the sun rising and setting, which is, I'm just, I'm just making it lighter, but you have to think about it significantly. What is the significance of it? And what is this death for? Of course, I won't get into that deeper level and create permanent head damage for all of you. But this is what is the essence of when somebody who is so close and the one who you love emotionally and physically, when that body departs, these questions will come. And as if Bhagavan has prepared this mind for that for the last 3 weeks, these are the only mantras that this body and mind have been meditating upon. So therefore, the physical sun that is seen creates the day and night, and they move in time, depletes the lifespan, and causes the death of the individuals ultimately. Death of a individual. So I'm choosing my words very carefully. Pavamanam tu madhyamam. Pavamanam, the second, okay. The madhyamam. Iti tu madhyamam means the middle, or the second reason is pavamanam, the wind or the air. Agnihi, the fire. Uchyate eva is described as the third. Chandrama, the moon. Uchyate eva stated as chatuhu, the fourth reason. So the sun, the wind, the fire, the mind, four types of deaths are there. Four types of deaths are there. So the physical sun, as we already talked about, the lack of life force in the body as the movement is the second reason. The second reason is the, the, the lack of movement of the air in the body. The third one is the depletion of the fire in the body. Fire as it relates to the Vaishwanara, the heat that is circulating in the body, that heat starts going down. So the fire in the body, the heat in the body is the third reason. So the lack of fire in the body, that's why when somebody is dying, you can feel that their body temperature starts dropping very quickly. Finally, the moon is the presiding deity, as a presiding deity of the herbs and the medicinal plants. The moon is also the mind and the thoughts in the body. The next reason is associated with the complete cessation of the thought, and also death due to mental diseases that disturbs the thought process, such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. They lead to death. So the first is sunrise, sunset as the ultimate cause of leaving the body. Second is the wind. Third is the fire. Fourth is the thought or the mind. These are the four types of deaths. And what are these four types of deaths? How are they related to the sun? What is the punya? What is the papa? What happens to the body? I'm telling you, I'm telling you, the Bhagavan is so compassionate and such a kind one that at the time when this is needed, That is what what is Guru's grace. And that Guru's grace ended with the whole thing ended with Guru Purnima celebration. That too on a Thursday, on a Guruvaram, and connecting to all that, and then coming to completion with it. That is the incredible blessing of Bhagavan. And then we will go the next class into what are the types of sins, how do they cause different types of deaths, what is the connection to Surya Bhagavan about this death, that and what will happen to this body, who will come and take that body, what is the journey, soul journey, what is the journey of that causal body after this physical, after that leaves the physical body. All this is described in the next set of mantras. Don't get scared, huh? It's all fantastic. You better know it now than regret not knowing later, so that we can be prepared for a welcoming the death. Jai Sai Ram. Okay. Yadakshar pada bhrashtam. Matra hinam tad bhavet. Who wants to do that? Okay. Let's see who is on the class. ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु. Okay, are there any questions posted or questions or comments?
I have a question, Shikhaji. You said
Yes.
that the sun holds Earth and the atmosphere with the time, space, and the curvature. So my question was, as I learned from somewhere that the diameter of Earth is exactly 108 times the distance with, I mean, if 108 times if we have the diameter of Earth, that is the distance between Earth and Sun. Similarly, the diameter of Moon from Earth is 108 times, uh, the distance from Earth and Moon. So my question was, is this also somewhere, when you talk about curvature, then distance also, is it also somewhere related to sun and earth, and the whole Aruna Prashna that we are learning, and is it going to come up later in Aruna Prashna? And
The
that 100
gravity.
yeah, sorry, the 108
Yeah,
also
go.
holds a lot of significance, as we know.
Oh, wonderful. That's good sharing. Well, I think fundamentally, when Newton has defined what gravity is, he had, the fundamental uh, principle of gravity or gravitational force as defined by Newton is between two objects, that is related to the mass of the objects and the distance between their centers linked by a gravitational constant. So distance is definitely a factor in the gravitational force, right? And obviously the earth holds its atmosphere only up to certain level. Beyond that, there is no gravity, as you all know. So definitely distance. I didn't know about this 108 thing. So if you can send me a link to that, or whether I can study further. But there is no description of the those parameters, as you would say, in Aruna Prashna. Why there is no? Because the objective of Vedic hymns is not to describe physical objects and physical forces between them and how they are related and all of that stuff. That's not the point of it at all. The Rishi does not actually care about that. That's the reason why they haven't given all these formulas and all that, all of that stuff. That job is left for scientists, grateful to the rishis, because they didn't focus on the objective aspects. They focused only on the subjective aspect. The subject matter is, that's why Kadipti Kim Parayanam. What is the base and source? Why is this manifested? What is the purpose of its manifestation? It's only for sustenance of life, for nourishing life. And how are those dashasya, the 10 senses, are described in the context of that? So the principle of Vedic hymns is not to describe the physicality of the cosmology. The purpose and the intent of Vedic hymns is only to take close to the subject matter. Therefore, in today's mantras that we described, it ultimately says that, hey, it is not even this sun, it is not even this earth. There is that infinite power that is beyond all these things, that is even holding the sun in its place. So you go beyond what is visual. Tripadurdhavadait Purushaha Padosyeha Bhavat Punaha. Yes? Is that clear? Yes? But I would love to,
Yes.
for educating myself, I want to understand what that 108 you are referring to, which is an interesting number for all of
Yes.
us. But
Yes. I.
but there will not be any references to equations and distance parameters and all that stuff in Aruna Prasna. The aspect of gravity is done with in these mantras. And then now we are going, see, it's very systematically different aspects of time, how they are manifested. uh, Kvamasa, Ratavashrita, Ardhamasa, Muhurta, Nimesha, Stutipisaha. All these things are talking about how different units of time are coming in existence, and how that time also ends physically in the context of a body experience. Okay, Sairam.
Yes. Sairam. Thank you.
Sairam. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Hmm. How many people did the quiz? I think roughly about 40 people did the quiz, and the quiz closed. As I sound like a broken record, these classes are not just for learning some mantras and parroting them somewhere else. This is a study. It's a self-study. And in that self-study, we should be, you know, so basically um, when we are looking at this study, unless you take it seriously, it's waste of time. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your time just coming and chanting these mantras. Okay, how many? Oh, close to 93 people did this thing. I think most of you already got the the answers after you submitted, but I will try to post the answers on the classroom, Google Classroom again. Okay. Okay, Sairam. There are no more questions. Let's conclude with Swasti Mantra. ॐ स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्याय्येन मार्गेण महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. See, many of us think that God is some remote object of experience. What this class today illustrates is that how God is a constant companion in this journey as the inner being and the friend. And for every life situation, for every aspect of how we experience Him spiritually. Bhagavan is always there and in all the ways. Have that trust and faith, and He will make sure you get the right guidance at the right time, just like a very close friend is constantly observing you in your thought, word, and deed. That is the most beautiful experience in all the Navavida Bhaktis. In all the Navavida Bhaktis, the most important one is Sneham and Atmanivedam. Sneham in friendship means really the one who is taking you across as a ship, as a friend. And so that's why it's called friendship. Friend is a proper noun, it is a noun where you associate somebody with a name, form, and etc. But friendship is abstract. So therefore, believe in the friendship, not just as a stupid Facebook friend who exists only to like or dislike whatever nonsense that we post for others' sake and not for our own self enlightenment. And uh, and I'm indebted and incredibly grateful to this companion, uh, the Krishna, who is constantly guiding this Arjuna, who is in this life trying to battle through this life. Jai Sai Ram. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba Ji ki